Now, we know that Trump, the Patriots, they are now nationalizing the Fed. Jerome Powell now needs to take orders from the Treasury Secretary. And Trump gives those orders to the Treasury Secretary. The question is, why did Trump decide to do this now during a global pandemic? Think about it. Why did they decide to merge the Fed with the Treasury, where the Fed is no longer independent? Because Trump knew, he knew the playbook. He knew when this event is over, he was going to need total control of the system. He just couldn't allow the Fed to say, okay, maybe we'll raise interest rates, maybe we won't, maybe we'll start stimulus, maybe we won't. To bring us out of this event where they tried to crash the economy, he needed total control. And it's not just to bring us out of the event, but to bring the country back better than ever. Because what else does he have? He has a national emergency, the Defense Production Act, and what is he doing? He is now making a move to push companies out of China and bring them back here to the United States. He will even pay for them to come back to the United States. And of course, what is he doing? He's using the Fed's fiat currency to do this. Now, the mainstream media is out there. A lot of financial pundits are out there saying there's no way we're going to have a V-shaped recovery like we had back in 2008, 2009. And yes, back then, we had a V-shaped recovery where the market came straight down and then the market went back up. What happened back then? Well, the Fed lowered rates and pushed stimulus. Now, think about what Trump just did. He took total control of the Fed now. There's no limit. There's nothing holding Trump, the Patriots, from pushing as much stimulus as possible. And he is now using all of it. It's unlimited. And I have a funny feeling we're going to see a V-shaped recovery. Now, does that mean as soon as the event is over, all of a sudden the market shoots right back up to 30,000 points? No. Does that mean everyone goes back to work and all the jobs are there? All the manufacturers come back into this country? No. But a couple of months later, we're going to see the V. Remember, the V is not straight up. The V is on an angle, which means over time, we're going to see the same type of recovery. Because what else kicks in June? The USMCA. Now, very interestingly, Kudlow is out there, and he's saying, listen, we're thinking about paying companies to move out of China, maybe move into another country, or back into the U.S. Because Japan announced that it would spend about $2.2 billion to get its corporations out of China, either back home or someplace else, to spread them out. This goes back to supply chains. Because every country, they're starting to realize having everything in one basket, not a good idea. And now we have Kudlow, and I believe Trump probably will be mentioning this, that they're going to be setting up funds to move companies out of China, either back here to the U.S. or to other areas. Now, think about what Trump is doing right now. He has a Defense Production Act. He can order the companies to come back here, but why not use the Federal Reserve to benefit the people? He's doing it right now. He's using this stimulus bill not to give to banks, not to give to Wall Street, not to give to other central banks. He's using it to give it to the people. And he's going to be using these funds to bring back manufacturers and move them out of China. He has total control of the system. And he has manufacturers coming online where he's saying, listen, you need to open up these plants. Why? We need to create ventilators because other countries are going to need them. He just took a dormant plant And all of a sudden, it is up and running, making ventilators, which are going to be shipped out to other countries. Think about what he's doing here. He's restarting the economy under a people's economy. The economy before the event was a central bank economy. The economy after the event is going to be a central bank and a people's economy at the same time. The next phase is going to be changing the currency. The next phase is going to be moving us from the fiat system into sound money. This is why most likely he's going to have Judy Shelton come on board. He's using this entire event to restructure the entire system. And just because the event is over doesn't mean it's all said and done. Remember, we're going to have to build the economy as we move along. Because as the event is over, people have lost their jobs, businesses are hurting. So Trump will say, listen, for us to get to the point where we need to be, I'm going to lower rates again. I'm going to push more stimulus. We're going to need more funds from Congress. And most likely he's going to pay for companies to come back here to the United States. He's also going to say, listen, to get the people back on their feet, what do we need to do? We need to have a payroll tax cut. Maybe it'll be permanent. Maybe he'll just get rid of taxes altogether. I mean, that's what this is all about. Without doing any of this, what's the purpose? The central bank is the root of all the problems. They breed, this whole system of the central bank breeds corruption. It's a private corporation. Now Trump is moving it into the Treasury. Soon, the people will create their own currency, most likely backed by something else, with no interest attached. Remember, the IRS was created to collect taxes to pay for that interest. Soon, we won't need any of this. And I do believe this is the direction he's heading in. Now, he's putting together an economic advisory council to reopen the country. He's going to be looking at doctors, business leaders, and many other smart individuals. He said, I'm going to surround myself with the greatest minds. We're going to make a decision. He said, this is the biggest decision of my life. And I need to take this seriously. I hope that, for God's sake, that I'm making the right decision. Now, I think he's talking about two different things right here. One, he's talking about, hopefully, this is the right decision to open up the economy once again. And the other decision, I believe, has to do with the deep state and others. So Trump, he has set the stage. He has prepared the economy. He has it ready. He has full control over the system where he can then go ahead and open it up. And everyone's worrying about, well, what about credit? What about this? Think about what China just did. They took like 5 trillion in yuan, pumped it into their system to keep the credit system flowing. What can Trump do now? He can do the same exact thing. Remember, there is no limit on the stimulus right now. He set this up perfectly. And now he has total control. The Patriots are in control.